Have you set up a Kotlin Multiplatform project and feel stuck with the build system? Don't worry, you're in the right place. In this tutorial, we'll explore how to configure the build system for Kotlin Multiplatform projects using Gradle with Kotlin DSL. By the end, you will know how to manage dependencies, understand your build files, and centralize version control effectively. First, open your project in Android Studio. Next, let's look at the Gradle build files. Start with the root directory and open build.gradle.kts. Here, the build script section specifies plugin repositories. Rely on Maven Central and Google's repo for most plugins. Understand dependencies to know which plugins you are using. Now, move to the All Projects block. It defines repositories needed across modules. Next, let's define tasks. The clean task is essential for a fresh build. It deletes the root build directory. Switch to Android app/build.gradle.kts. Notice the familiar syntax, starting with defining plugins required for Android and Kotlin. Check the Dependencies section. It includes the shared module and necessary Android-specific libraries. Next, explore the shared module in shared/build.gradle.kts. You'll define your module as a multi-platform module here. The Kotlin section uses methods to define targets for Android and iOS. Understand how to configure CocoaPods for iOS. In source sets, manage dependencies for different parts of your project. Each target has its specific dependencies. Next, let's discuss the build.src module. It allows defining version variables in one place for easy management. Start by creating a build.src directory. In this folder, define a build.gradle.kts containing repositories and the Kotlin DSL plugin. Create a Kotlin class named dependencies, where all your dependencies and their versions reside. You also define various plugin names and version numbers for libraries you might use. Now, go back to your shared/build.gradle.kts. Replace static string references with variables defined in build.src. This makes version management consistent across modules. Remember to sync your Gradle files after any changes. Finally, don't forget to check if your app builds successfully on both Android and iOS. This ensures everything is configured correctly. Key points to remember are: Gradle is the backbone of KMP, you write build files in Kotlin, and you centralize dependencies using build.src. Now that you know how to set up the build system, put this knowledge into action with your Kotlin multi-platform projects.